Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So one of my favorite hobbies out there is trying to find the most outrageous, crazy Dave Ramsey reaction videos of all time, and I think I may have found it. This video was posted almost 10 years ago, and it's just titled, My Stupid 21-Year-Old Lives at Home. So of course you know this one is going to be a doozy as soon as you hit the like button and subscribe, because I have a lot to say about this one. You're going to enjoy it. And as a thank you for doing that, here's a picture of a puppy. So thank you guys so much, and now let's begin.
Naperville, Florida is on the line. Pamela is with us. Hi Pamela, how are you?
Great. How about yourself?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
You know what's so funny? Pamela is my mom's name, and it would be so funny if this was actually my mom. My mom was calling,
my son just lives at home and does nothing all day. It's like, Mom, why are you calling Dave Ramsey over that?
Let's see this Pamela though. My Pamela did not live in Naperville, Illinois, so it's not her.
I have a 21-year-old who is just god awful with money, and he can't make it paycheck to paycheck. And then he's trying to mooch money off of me or his father or whatever. And I'm wondering what kind of advice you have other than taking him out back and beating him over the head with a stick.
Just stop giving him money. I don't get it. They're like,
Why does my kid keep asking me for money?
just stop giving it to him. It's like, you feed a stray cat. Then the cat's going to keep coming back. And then they're going to bring their friends. And then there's the expectation that you're always going to feed them. And then if you stop feeding them, they're going to have a hissy fit. So all you got to do is just stop enabling the behavior. It's just like, if you don't like a behavior, don't feed into it.
Okay, here's the situation. We did not do a good job of teaching you this stuff because you didn't learn it up until now. That's on us. But here's the thing. You're 21 now, which the law says you're an adult. And so the situation is this. We're going to show you how to budget, and you're going to learn how to budget.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, okay? There's no urgency for him to budget. Basically, the son is just kind of thinking, I'm going to walk you through his mindset, okay? Because I've seen so many friends like this. It's very common, okay? The son thinks, why should I have to save my money? What for? I'm living at home, probably for free. Anytime I run out of money, my parents will just give me more money, and I could always budget in the future when eventually I live on my own. So until then, there's no sense of starting today. The parents have never really instilled any discipline for him to get off on his own because he's just mooching off the parents. So unless they kind of kick him a little bit out the door, there's not going to be an incentive to change.
You're either going to do that voluntarily, or we're going to make it a condition of you continuing to live here.
Okay.
Because I'm going to make you learn how to do this. And by the way, that's not us punishing you or controlling you. This is what's known as an act of love.
You know what they should do is charge him rent. If he's really that bad with money, basically just say as a parent, hey, we're going to be charging you $700 a month in rent. Now, secretly, what the parent could do is just take the money, go and invest it. So that way, maybe when he gets good with money, eventually, or when he moves out, or gets married, or has a child, whatever it might be, the money's sitting there and they can just give it back. But at least it's going to help budget in the meantime.
Yeah, and he's stupid, so he probably will end up moving out, and he won't have a car because we provide him one.
Yeah, see,
and all he's required to do is pay his insurance every month.
See, they coddle him. This is what happens when the parents are just like, yeah, we got his car for him. We were paying his insurance for him. He was living at home. We're giving him money. It's like, you can't expect him to fend for himself when he has such a nice life as it is. What reason would he have to sacrifice all of these things? He's getting it all for free.
You and your husband, you got to go away and talk about this for a few hours and nail this down, because you're going to feel like bad parents or something, and you're not bad parents.
Well, the biggest problem with that is my husband is not his father.
Oh, no. So it sounds like maybe, okay, this is just a generalization. What happened was that, the parents split up. She's got with a new guy now. Maybe they're married. The son has never looked at him as a father. Maybe it's just kind of looked to her. She seems to be the one who's kind of, put in charge here, most likely. He listens to his mom, not so much maybe the new guy. And so what's ended up happening is that, the mom is the one who's really supporting him, going easy on him. He's not listening to the father. Maybe the father's like, the mom's taking care of it. Sounds like maybe it's a little bit of that going on, and the kid just never really had any financials instilled in him.
How is their relationship?
It is strained because my husband is very forceful with his teachings.
Okay.
And with his expectations. He's retired military.
Okay. Well, I would suggest he crank down the military a few notches.
Yeah, maybe his stepdad is just like too hard, but he's not like listening to it. He'll listen to the mom, but not the dad. I don't know. Or maybe he listens to nobody. Maybe this kid is truly just an independent thinker, is just like, he's gonna do whatever he wants to do.
If you want to set the little firecracker off, I know how to do that. Just bust up in his face, he'll blow up and head out the door. But that's not the goal. The goal is not to throw him out. The goal is to get him to change. I don't want him to leave. I want him to abide by these rules.
Well, some days we do want him to leave, but that's another story.
Oh my gosh. It sounds like they're tired. I can't tell if they're being sarcastic. Be like, no, he is stupid. No, we do want him to move out. No, he's reckless. He's an idiot. I can't tell. I can't tell what they actually think. If they really want him out and they don't care, give him like 2 months. Say, hey, in 60 days, you got to be out of the house. We're serious about this. If you're not out in those 60 days, we're kicking you out. So get your act together. It sounds like maybe they're more towards that.
You're going to start doing this, honey, because we love you. And you not doing this is bad for you. People who live, thank God it's Friday, oh God it's Monday, struggle through their whole lives, and we don't want to watch you struggle through your whole life.
You know what? Why doesn't she just show him this call with Dave Ramsey? Or find out what he's motivated by. Seems like the kid is maybe kind of lost, doesn't really have anything going on for him. If that's the case, he's really got to find his North Star. Like, what's going to lead him in life? What does he want to do with his life? Where does he want to go with all of this? Because if he has no direction, it seems like no matter what they do, it's eventually just going to fall apart.
I got to tell you, folks, I'm so convinced that eagles don't fly if they don't leave the nest. They don't fly. Sitting in the nest, an eagle becomes a turkey. They need to leave the nest.
I agree with Dave Ramsey, but that also brings me to this video here where he talks about exactly why so many people are living at home when they're young, which I do kind of feel like is a good thing. If they're able to save money, if it sets them up financially, maybe they could, have a big nest egg by the time they leave, I'm all for it. But this should hopefully provide a lot of clarification.
According to a recent study, Pew Research, 33%, 1 in 3, 25 to 29-year-olds live with their parents or grandparents. 3 times as many as in 1970.
Yeah, because things are so expensive. It's not surprising to me that when you look at like the sales to income ratio of houses, you have to work for so many more years to be able to afford a house. Like I think it was back in the 1970s, it took on average about 3 years of your income to purchase the average house. Now it's somewhere between 7 to 11 years, depending on which location you're in. A place like California, it could be like 20 years. It's crazy. But anyway, things are just getting more expensive and there's less of a need, let's just say, to move out of your house. People are maturing later, they're getting married later, they're having kids later. So staying with their parents a little later also kind of makes sense if they're able to save the money.
An eagle that doesn't leave the nest is what's known as a turkey. You are not blessing your children by supporting them when they're over 25 years old.
I do agree that you go through a lot of growing on your own. It's one thing to live with your parents, even if you're independent, you have your job, you have your savings, it's fine, okay? But when you move out on your own, you really feel like a truly independent adult who's capable of making your own decisions. There's a lot of growth that comes in moving out on your own. Even if you don't think it's that big of a deal, it is. It's a big deal. So I think a lot of people mature very quickly, moving out of their parents' house, developing their own identities, being self-sufficient. I think all of those things are required as an adult.
Now, I'm not suggesting you need to be mean to your children, unkind to your children, but I'm just telling you, you're a straight-up codependent enabler when you have a 27-year-old living in your basement because he won't go get a job in an economy that's white hot, and there's a labor shortage in most areas right now.
Yeah, so I think that's the real issue, is whether or not they're working or whether or not they're bettering their lives. I think if you get a 27-year-old working full-time, saving money, doing something with their lives, I think it's fine. It seems like America is really the only culture that really prides itself in getting rid of the kids as fast as possible. Like all the other cultures that I've seen, not all of them, a lot of them, the kids stay with the parents until they're married, and then they move off in their own house, and then eventually the parents move back in with the kids when they're older. And then it's like this big generational household thing. It seems like Americans are really just like, hey, get them out as soon as possible. It doesn't seem normal when you think of a worldwide phenomenon. So I'd love to hear what you think about this, by the way. I think there's a balance. If someone's without a job, that's one thing. I think if they have purpose, and if they're working towards something, then it can be okay.
Quit sitting around whining about how entitled they are for the culture to take care of them, and the reason they think the reason they're entitled like that is because they sit in your basement.
Yeah, that's the one thing I do see, those. If they feel entitled in one area, it's usually entitled in every area. So if they're getting everything they want to at home, It kind of extends to, well, I should be getting what I want to with work. I should be getting the pay I want. I should be getting this because I get it at home. And it just kind of teaches them they don't have to work for it.
We're not going to sit here and enable you to not, I can't find a job. Well, you haven't left the front of the Nintendo. Of course you can't find a job. You're watching all those HBO channels I pay for. This has got to stop, you guys.
I think TV's got to stop. I think there's so many time wasters right now. I think social media, I hate to say it, okay? Because obviously you're watching YouTube. YouTube can be fantastic. I think most of social media is just, I'm losing brain cells. It's horrible. It just seems like the most extremes from every angle come out of the woodwork, and they say the stupidest stuff just to get attention. And that's it. They know what they're saying is idiotic, but they say it anyway, and people eat it up. It's like,
Oh, yes, I agree with this. I disagree.
it's just people argue. It's so stupid, so pointless. I think if people just worked on themselves, did what they wanted to do with their own life, didn't think about other people, didn't trash talk other people, I think it would be so much more productive, make so much more money just focusing on yourself.
I talk to people on the air here. They're 32 years old and went through an abusive marriage, and they've come back home and they've got a little baby and they're trying to get their feet back under them, a single mom. Hey, do that. Take care of them. Love them well for a period of time. But if they come back home and they're 32, an abusive marriage and have a little baby, by the time they're 37, they should be gone.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Let me know what you guys think, though, down below in the comment section. As always, I do my best to read as many of them as possible. And also, don't forget that you can get some free stocks worth all the way up to a few $1,000s with a paid affiliate link down below in the description when you make a deposit. Enjoy that. Also, feel free to add me on Snapchat and Instagram. Thank you so much, and until next time.